when it comes to pretty much everything that I have going on in my life, like currently, right? Things that I aspire to do, these goals that I'm currently working on, whatever it is, I think I follow the same steps as some people. Meaning, whatever it is, it pops into my brain housing unit, and then next thing you know, I'm about to start looking around to see who's doing it, see how relatable it is for them and me. Meaning, maybe they were in the same situation as me, and if I see they were able to change things around, accomplish something, that gives me more hope. So I'm going to go to these people and I'm going to ask them, and if they're not going to give me information, I'll find this person. But I got to make sure that they are a credible source. However, internally, I don't think I am no help to anyone if I don't do the work for myself. If I don't achieve these things, if I don't have a blueprint laid out with option A, B, and C, if A and B don't work, maybe try C. That's how I live life. It wasn't always like that. That's how I live life. Now, I do lead with my fitness and my health because I got this way of thinking that this is the only vessel I have that I'm in, going out into the world, living, meeting people. I'm in this. Can't get out of this. Even though we want to get on social media and we have these AI photos and these filters, we want to be somebody else. You in this when you go out there into the world. So being that I'm in this all the time, I have to approach it like I do my home, right? Something happened around the crib, you got to get it taken care of, like I do my car. But I got to lock in 100 times more because this is what I have. This is the only one I have. And I live life that way. There is a certain way that I look at my health and my fitness that is much different from how I used to look at it. For one, it has to happen. I got to eat right. I got to get up and get my workout in the morning. That's just my thing. I got to make sure that I do it. Every workout ain't going to be the best, but I'm going to make sure that I do that. I got things down to a routine. If that routine shifts, I'm going to find a way to throw in maybe an alternate option of doing whatever I was doing. It's that serious to me because I am the way to where I am no help to anybody if I haven't helped myself. I live by that. Now, it took some time to get there. It took a lot of shutting off noises, not comparing. I've said it a few times on these videos that unless you are somebody that is using social media as a stepping stone to do something great, you trying to be a YouTube channel, and I see people that's successful at it. Get after it. I know that I used YouTube before just for random things, man. How to assemble, man, it can be very powerful. It's the other platforms, though, that are very dangerous. If you ain't doing nothing but just absorbing craziness, man, it is holding people up, or it held me up. So I can only assume it's holding people up because we sit there and we spend so much time just absorbing stuff. We don't even know how to form our own opinions because we don't get up and we don't try anything. So a lot of people really think that someone else's opinion that was shared by sitting in the car with the caption up is the gospel. You don't think it's possible because enough people have said it, shared it, internet wins again, so you ain't even got to get up from the couch. And that is eating people up inside. It's not a pause, but it's kind of graphic if you think. When it comes to my health, my nutrition, my workouts, it's a privilege. No, I don't feel like doing it every day, but it is a privilege to have the functioning limbs right now to be able to just get up and do my thing. Do you realize there are people that are in worse situations than you, whether they were born into that or whether they did that to themselves? They don't have the same privilege as you to be able to get up and be active. And we don't even think about that because we don't get up and be active. Another thing, just because you went through this or I went through that does not mean everybody is going to go through that. I am fully aware that everybody wasn't a drinker and everybody didn't get fat. My experiences in life can differ from most people. So I just shared my example. You got people that will go through some things and for whatever reason, they think you got to go through that. And because you didn't go through that, you don't understand what life is about. That is crazy work. And it'd be a lot of them folks. You don't know what I went through. I don't care. Not in a bad way, because I'm busy trying to get through what I've been through. And they trying to get through what they've been through. And they trying to get through what they've been through. Hey, man, you got to worry about other people too sometimes, right? And you got people that they start their day with that. They start their day with their bad experiences as if they're the only ones that had bad experiences in life. But also have the wherewithal to know that we know what we're supposed to be doing. It's just we heard different versions and experiences from somebody else that just had the power to influence us. We know. You know. You didn't Googled it. You didn't chat GPT'd it. You know what you're supposed to be doing. But sometimes if you was like me, you wasn't ready to blame yourself for why you wasn't able to stick to it. You ain't ready to blame you yet. You ain't even looking in the mirror. You step on the scale, you looking up. You just step on the scale, you assuming a number. We ain't ready to blame ourselves. So that happens. Been there, done that, moved on. But when you do lock in, because I think most people can lock in, and some people are offended by that word. When you do lock in, most people want to try to tell you about you, how you supposed to think, what you should do, especially if they see what you're doing is working. I'm a little simple, man. If you want to be about that life, you want to be known for the best realtor, scholar, entrepreneur, you want to be known for somebody that's fit, you want to be about that life, live that life. It'll be easy for you. Nobody, everyone's not going to like it. Everyone's not going to agree with it. There's going to be other people that are going about that life a different path. And if you're immature enough to even care, you're going to clash. Instead of collaborating. Where you can y'all can get together. You got your way of doing it. They got their way. No, people just like to clash and compare. And it ruins the whole situation to where you guys can share the information. You're going to have that. But if you want to be about that life, be about that life. But I remember I said on Facebook one time, and I had a cousin that had unfriended me. If you don't want to be overweight, don't do overweight stuff. And she's like, I hate when people tell you that. I had to unfollow you. But why are you telling me this? Just go with it. You're a whole adult. But it's the truth, because if I say, if you want to be rich, you got to do rich stuff. That would have got a lot of claps. That would have got a lot of likes. That's what social media land do, man. Manufactured anger, hysteria. A lot of us don't think anything is possible. We know people. We got family members that have made it happen, and they'll be like, hey, well, they're able to do it because, this, and this. No ownership, no self-accountability, no self-control. I had no self-control of my habits. Them joints are just on their own. They are apart from me, and then I got to face the consequences of what I used to do to me. And instead of facing it, I'm going to blame somebody else. Complete waste of time. Nowadays, it's like, don't let me see somebody I know. Somebody that I know that went through the struggle, rise up out the dirt and make it happen. That's all I need. Man, they was able to make that happen? Let me get in the game. Put me in the game, coach. It's crazy. We let people on social media tell us what's possible, what's impossible. Never met them a day in our life. Don't know their background. Don't know if they're telling the truth. Nothing. They just said something cool, and that's enough to help you continue to stay sitting down in a sedentary lifestyle, just absorbing this stuff. That ain't possible. That's what's going to happen. That's why it happen if you keep doing that. We ain't doing nothing. And then it starts to fester and we get bitter because we sitting there watching and absorbing all this stuff. And if it's like a numbers thing to where we see more people doing what we thought was impossible, well, they ain't supposed to be doing that. You ain't supposed to be in shape in your 40s. You can. You just got to understand that there's certain things that's going to happen. You're going to have to change some stuff up. And in most cases, some stuff you ain't supposed to be doing in the first place. Now, I've deactivated all platforms except for LinkedIn. I'm still on LinkedIn because, naturally, you never know if an opportunity will pop up. But somebody on LinkedIn had tagged me in this. And then I messaged them. I said, hey, don't tag me and stuff without talking to me, man, because I wouldn't do that to you. Is it aggressive? Maybe, but I'm just saying, why are you I don't even talk to this dude like this. I ain't been on LinkedIn in 2 months. But the concept is, don't judge a book by its cover. You got a heavier person that's getting up there doing some outstanding movements. Muscle ups on their own are tough, but to balance your body weight like that while you went up for the muscle up, rare. Totally understandable. My problem is, not to be disrespectful, I do judge books by their cover. And on the cover of that book, I'm looking at high visceral fat, body fat, heart disease, obesity, low testosterone, because that's what carrying the extra weight does. I'm not saying that's not very impressive. Take it from somebody that throws muscle ups in on my daily back workout. It's very tough. It was challenging to do. But that's our mindset now. It was all these people in the comments like, yeah, see, that's why I never judge a book by its cover. Man, do you know how many youngsters, 20-somethings, maybe teenagers, think you can't even put muscle on because you got to take TRT? Not realizing that obesity, they don't know anything about gut health right now, because it's cool to carry that weight and still be able to do some astronomical stuff that's normal. It's not. I see it a little different. Do you know how much potential you are pulling from yourself when you are deciding just not to change your nutrition? You could be doing way more. You can do more reps. You can do more sets. I'm telling you, because I was on both sides of that fence. It was a Hispanic boxer. He was a big boxer, but he used to hit hard. Right? Pause. He used to knock people out. But he was bigger. And everybody would be like, see? You can't, see? Big people have hands too. Move that aside. Nobody ever said big people ain't got hands. Yes, there are people that say if you're bigger, you might seem lazier. I don't believe that. I believe in being 40-something years old. There are certain things that I got to do to try to stay in the best shape possible. One is I got to keep my body fat lower. I've had way more higher body fat percentages, and it was a tougher life. I know that side. I know this side. So not to offend you, that's cope. That is a way of trying to justify keeping body fat on. That has nothing to do with the exercises itself. That is very impressive. Very impressive to see that. But that's cope. Because you can find somebody that got lower body fat that cares about visceral fat, heart disease, and all that stuff that I mentioned and can do the same stuff. We know that, right? Honestly, it's because I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy that got to run up to you and tell you my PR, or I can do this and this. I would much rather walk into a room and you assume I can do it. I probably can't. I'm saying, because when you got to run up and tell somebody your PRs when you know your nutrition isn't in check, especially as you get older, to me, that's no different than running into a room when you was in high school and be like, I bet you I get more female numbers than you. I bet you I get more girls than you. Prove it. Get out here and get in them streets like I used to. And do you know why I say prove it? Because the confidence comes from proof. There's a pattern there. If you walk into a room and you're in shape, even if somebody ain't even at you about fitness, they're going to assume that you're disciplined and you eat right. These are universal facts. So just prove it. Do it right. I don't like, even if we're talking, like, I can't talk to you about fitness if you haven't done it yet. Not in a bad way, but sometimes people want to come at you and be like, yeah, I'm doing this right now. And if I don't see it on you, especially being 40-something years old, man, I'm halfway to 100 here in a few years. I got to see it work before I'm willing to try just random stuff because I'm cool with somebody and they decide to say stuff out their face. And we just be accepting what people be telling us because we got history, because they're nice people, when it might not be in your best interest. You gotta figure that out quick. I've said it before, nothing in here that I've invested in would mean anything if I had no self-control of my kitchen discipline. I don't drink anymore. None of it. It'd just be me spending money collecting stuff in here if I'm in here on borrowed time. And like I said, we're all on borrowed time. But if I ain't tracking my body fat, my blood pressure, I'm not getting my blood work done, I'm just eating whatever, zero self-control, but I somehow have control over the equipment that I buy, it's all for nothing. That's my personal opinion. This is coming from somebody that was able to work out with bands. I used to work out at the Jackie Robinson YMCA. All they had was water bottles and rocks. Hey, I worked out in Afghanistan. Like, I'm telling you, none of it matters if my nutrition isn't on point. The nutrition is it is, because you're going to lose muscle. You're going to get older. Some of your joints are going to wear down. You might have some injuries. Father Time will be on your neck. Mother Nature will be on your neck. Set that aside. What are you putting in your body? What are you putting in your body? What are you eating? What are you eating every day? Especially it's the things that you know you shouldn't be eating. And we still do it. And instead of feeling bad about it and acknowledging that it's bad, we go straight to social media and for approval. It's okay, they doing it too, and they look happy. Are you really happy? I always say, speaking for me, I can't speak for nobody else, but I wasn't. I wasn't when I was bigger. I'm tugging on the bottom of my shirt like it's default. I'm tired. I'm sluggish. I sweat now, But thanks to the stairs, I don't sweat when it's hot right now in Cali. But I was just sweating just from walking up 3 or 4 stairs as a 20-something. I'm looking on this scale. I'm going in here for my PRT test for the Navy or the weigh-ins, and I got to lift my shirt up, and I'm trying to suck my gut in. And then some people will look. I'm thinking people looking, and I'm supposed to be the fitness guy. It was embarrassing. I was ashamed of what I had become. Some people can remove all that, and they'll hear or see a post from a stranger, and they'll be okay for a little bit. Till your self-conscious it becomes a calling. You know this ain't right. You know you're supposed to be doing better. And instead of turning all that energy inward, we be fighting with everybody about preferences and sports, best rapper. These 6 actors are such and such. One of them has to go. None of them have to go because nobody cares. Instead of turning that stuff inward and fixing you and getting up doing exactly what you say you're going to do amongst all the craziness, we stay stuck on that. I have not missed social media at all. I think there is a logistical gap that I'm missing when it comes to my job. I can be putting information out there, but at the same time, for my psyche, a lot of stuff that I used to see, I don't know what's going on. And it has been very helpful for me. It helps me dial back in. If you're not on somebody that's using that as a platform to get information out there, but you're just absorbing someone else's facts, someone else's attitude, someone else's mindset, is dangerous. It is. It's brain rot. I used to see all this stuff and it was just like funneled in. And luckily I was to the point to where, man, I don't sound right. Like, we really think that, all this stuff like dating coaches and fitness people that don't look like they even take their own advice. Dad bod is better, which might be preference, but you going to Vegas paying money to a stripper that ain't got the same dad bod that's at the crib. Like, this is all stuff that's true. For what? Why do I think most people do it? It's to find a way to justify staying in the same place that they're at. They know they don't want to, but they don't want to do the work in order to get it because they don't realize that having these moving limbs is a privilege. They look at being better when it comes to your health as a chore. They look at it like that. They look at taking care of yourself when you go into a doctor's office and you're proud of your blood work. They look at that like it's folding laundry. Some of y'all might like folding laundry, but I said on the previous video, I hate it. They look at working out like that. And then we get mad. We get mad when we see people figure it out, not realizing before people figure it out, before I figured it out, I was so damn tired. Excuse my French. I'm so dang tired of being who I was. It was exhausting. It was draining. I felt, my mindset turning and I was projecting. I had become a person that I knew I wasn't supposed to be. I was nasty towards people that was working out. I was nasty towards people that was taking advantage of the free education in school. Anybody that did something that I thought, because it usually only took a thought of me realizing it would be a challenge and I'm done. I would be nasty towards them. I see them doing it. It ain't possible, man. Don't pay attention to this, right? And now when it happens to me, I feel bad because I remember how I felt. Hence why I do these videos. But you gotta start doing something. You do. Because we are sitting here looking, and that's one thing I used to see on TikTok that really used to irritate me. I get tired of seeing people in all these nice cars and none of that. Why? If they weren't, they behind off for it. And if they didn't, they inherited that, then that ain't your problem. You weren't born into that family. It's like you wake up in the morning. You wake up to get another chance at life, and we ignore that. We don't even realize that that's a blessing. That's huge to be able to wake up and say, you know what, man, I've been messing up the whole week. I'm gonna try something different today. But instead of doing that, we blame. We got to be a part of this group and this community. We doubt. We naysay. And then next thing you know, the days keep adding up. Next thing you know, you go from being 20-something years old to now you your mid-30s. You still got the same mindset, and the people you used to hang around with, they making motion. Now they lucky. I mean, you didn't hop on that bandwagon like you should have. So yeah, these can come off as aggressive, and I'm pointing the finger. Don't you want to be in better shape? Don't you want to have that career you was telling everybody about years ago, or be an entrepreneur? Don't you want to join the military if that's your thing? I know it's a lot going on in the news. Don't you want to lead the military? Try to make the same bag, if not more. Don't you want these things? I would think so, right? Because we talk about it every year. Here we are. Hey, we in August. We about to start seeing the New Year's stuff. So at that, what happens then is just like a mental reset. So all the bad decisions and the procrastination and the laziness for the year, we're going to try to forget it. And we expect the world to just start shooting down opportunities because we are entitled sometimes. When you got to start doing the tough stuff first and make it a process. And when you make that process, it becomes normal. Then you start separating yourself from people. And when that happens, it's messed up because you got some people you close with, but they didn't want to change. Leave the door open, but at the same time, you got to monitor who you're allowing in that door. This is just what happened to me, but I don't really deal with a lot of people because some people are still attached to the version that I was. So as being somebody, I think I'm kind of accomplished. I still got a lot of stuff I want to do, right? Even though I'm getting older. Some people like to shut it down. I still got stuff I want to wake up and do for me and my family. But once I like starting getting things in check, I start checking these boxes. I start realizing, man, that just wasn't cool for a lot of people. They didn't vibe with that. And it's because they still got that same it ain't possible mindset while sitting here watching me do this stuff over the years, and they're not willing to change. And there's some animosity in there. I don't know outside of three dudes that can just, if they have a compliment, if they have a question, they can't just ask. The majority of the cats that I know, they got to come in with the joke. They got to come in with the shade. They got to come in with the must be nice, you lucky, I'm trying to get on your level. Of those three, they come in, hey man, what is this? You ever try this? Tell me more about this. Because they want the information. Because time is to keep going no matter what you're doing. Tick, 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 tick. Part is exhausting too, man. I know you're going to have something to say, man, but blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Ask the question so you can start making motion, so you can feel better about yourself. Because that's what you want to do when you decide to ask me. No, in any area that you decide to, start doing more in, and mathematically it's not possible to apply 100% towards everything across the board. You got to pull away from some things sometimes. You got to, do the workout first and then focus on the job or entrepreneurship and then focus on this, right? But when you do that, when you do what you say you're going to do, when you keep those promises to yourself, you start seeing things differently. You start hearing things differently. And no, you ain't going to feel like doing that stuff every day, right? But when you do it, there's a moment in there to where you start using things that you achieved as fuel, right? When I was running up and down them stairs when I was working on my doctorate, I was like, man, I did the master's. I got 3 master's degrees. I can do this. I just got to apply myself. Then I start having a vision. I work towards the vision. I don't just have a vision and there's no work. I'm trying to manifest and I'm closing my eyes, crossing my fingers. No. I had the vision and I work towards the vision. Then I achieve it. And I'll take that same process and I'm moving on to something else. I'm not going to let anybody stop me if something's within my control of achieving. That's how I live the life. And that is frowned upon for certain people that I used to be around. Stop giving them access. You know what you want to do. We know because we can't help ourselves come January 1st because we tell the world, because we want the world to be proud because we're proud. We're excited. But you got to stop doing all that other stuff, man. You do. And by you, I just mean me. That's what I used to tell myself. People think that I'm tough on them. You should hear the stuff I tell myself because I ain't got time to be out here messing around. I want them goals. I do. Achieving them goals help me sleep at night. And once I achieve that, I know I can do that. Why not me? Have a great day.